The Mass Effect universe is jam-packed with amazing and original alien races that we as players get the pleasure of exploring. One of the most recognizable and popular alien races in Mass Effect is the Turians. The Turians have brought us some iconic characters such as Garrus or Veteranix. Because of characters like these and other interactions with the Turians in all 4 Mass Effect games, they have become one of the more interesting and favorited alien races in all of Mass Effect. They are certainly one of my favorites, so let's discuss 10 unique facts about Turians that you may not have known. Before we begin, if you love Mass Effect and Mass Effect lore, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below if you want more videos just like this one. Now, let's get right into it. Do you ever wonder what all of the different face markings on all of the Turians mean? There actually isn't too much known about these, but what we do know gives us a little insight on their history. The Turians have normally worn these tattoos on their faces since the Unification War. And yes, they are tattoos, not makeup or paint or any other sort of markings that they would have to reapply. They are permanent. And due to their origin of the Unification War, these markings do distinguish which colony of origin each Turian wearing a marking is from, or at least their family. These markings are usually white on Turians, but there are other Turians such as Garrus or Nyreen Kandros that have blue or red markings for some reason. But you may notice that not all Turians have facial markings. The lack of facial markings is looked down upon in Turian society. The Turian term barefaced refers to one who is not to be trusted. It is also a slang term used for a lot of Turian politicians. In that first fact about Turians, you might have picked up a term I was using, referencing the Unification War. The Unification War is something that is referenced several times throughout the Mass Effect games, but we aren't given too much detail about it throughout the games, and some of you might not exactly know what the Unification War even is. To put it simply, the Unification War was an all-out civil war between Turians. The Unification War had mostly to do with Palaven and the far outer colonies of Turian space. These outer colonies that were pretty far away from Palaven, relatively speaking, became very isolated from the Turian hierarchy, and a lot of them became very xenophobic, not wanting to work with many of the other alien species in the galaxy. Meanwhile, the Turian hierarchy on Palaven was currently in talks forming the Galactic Council with the Asari and Solarians. These outer colonies did not want that to happen. And so, as it was a very controversial political topic, colonists began wearing emblems or facial markings to differentiate themselves from members of other colonies, and open hostilities became common. This eventually led to an all-out civil war. This is something that I definitely hope Mass Effect explores further in the future, as it's one of the larger galactic conflicts that we haven't dived too much into when it comes to raw information. I would love to see more stuff about the Unification War, hopefully in the future. We've talked a bit about the Unification War and the Turian facial markings, so let's stay on the Turian physique and see if we can provide any fun facts for how they look. Many of you playing through the Mass Effect games might have naturally come to notice that Turian features are avian, making them resemble humanoid birds or raptors. But the cool thing is, unlike their avian appearance, making them look like birds or raptors, as I just explained, Turians give birth. They don't lay eggs or anything like that. Unlike other avian creatures on Earth, they actually give birth to their young like mammals. Additionally, in canon, David Anderson has claimed that Turians reminded him of the evolutionary link between birds and dinosaurs. Pretty cool. Staying on this topic of the way that Turians look, let's get a little spicy with it. For reference, skin tones of Turians closer to the color of older Solarians, kind of like Mordin Solus, are apparently attractive by Turian standards. For male Turians at least, complimenting a potential partner's waist or head fringe seems to be a way of expressing attraction. Just like humans, it is kind of the norm for Turian males to take action and take the female Turians out on dates. Some common Turian dates include filing their talons and buffering their fringes. Speaking of Turian men, you will often see Turian men in many leadership roles in Turian society, and especially in the Turian hierarchy. Other species see Turians as men of action, and they are generally regarded as the most progressive of Citadel races. Though during the time of the Mass Effect trilogy, some species believe that humans are rivaling this position. Since their culture is based on the structure of a very powerful military hierarchy, changes and advances accepted by the leadership are quickly adopted by the rest of society with minimal resistance. Now, if you've played Mass Effect, you'll notice that every single alien species speaks the exact same language that humans can understand. That is because these are translated, obviously, if you know that lore. There are other Mass Effect species in the games that discuss their personal language a lot, specifically the Quarians, but Turian language isn't mentioned too much in the game. Actually, in canon, there aren't that many words that we know from the natural Turian language. We know that Turian itself is based on the word Centurion, but isn't a direct translation. The words or phrases that we do know in Turian are usually taken from Turian-named planets that we can see throughout the Mass Effect games. Here are a few examples of these. I am not going to put the embarrassment on myself of trying to pronounce some of these, so you can just read it yourself and give it your best shot. Speaking of Turian language and culture, it's only right that we talk about where they are from. Palaven, their homeworld seen in Mass Effect 3, at least from orbit. Fun fact, Palaven is the only Citadel Council world that we have not explored the surface of in a Mass Effect game. So all we really have to go off of is descriptions of what Palaven may be and look like. When the Turians were introduced to the galactic community, an Asari diplomat poetically described their homeworld Palaven as a silver world of fortresses and fire, because Palaven's weak magnetic field is a poor shield from its sun. Also, from talks with Garrus and other Turians throughout the Mass Effect games, we know that Palaven is extremely hot, but obviously not hot enough to where it can't support organic life. And shortly after the First Contact War, one of the first humans to ever set foot on Palaven was Jack Harper, aka the Elusive Man. Although life on Palaven is carbon-based and oxygen-breathing, it is built on dextroamino acids. This places the Turians in a distinct minority on the galactic stage. The Quarians are the only other canon sapient species that are dextroprotein based. The foods of species such as humans, Asari, or Solarians will at best pass through Turian systems without providing any nutrient. At worst, it will trigger an allergic reaction that can be fatal, if not immediately treated. For what we know, the Turian Navy is divided into at least 32 fleets, and is allotted more dreadnoughts than any other race. The Turians possessed 37 dreadnoughts in 2183, also known as the time of Mass Effect 1, and got up to 39 as of 2185, the end of Mass Effect 2. The Turians are also known to possess at least 2 fighter carriers. The Turian Navy serves as a galactic peacekeeping force and is also the primary military arm of the Council, contributing the single largest portion of the Citadel fleet, seen in Mass Effect 1. According to the art of Mass Effect, Turian ships incorporated layers of plates to roughly symbolize the feathered appearance of the Turians themselves. Here's a short and sweet one, but not one a whole lot of people know about. In Mass Effect 3, on the mission to Chunka Bomb, a Turian shot by a sniper is shown as having red blood. In all other instances, Turian blood is portrayed as blue, and this is still present in Mass Effect the Legendary Edition. So since 2012 and different remasters and releases of Mass Effect 3, this Turian in this mission is the only Turian we see in canon that has red blood. And to wrap off these Turian fun facts, Palaven has a regular shuttle route to Ilium, scheduled for departure at 3:20 p.m. Nos Astra time every day, as of 2185. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more alien race fun facts about Mass Effect alien races on this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what your favorite part about Mass Effect aliens are, and let me know what your favorite Turian fun fact was. I want to hear all about it down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys.